Hello students, in this class we will discuss another numerical on fuels and combustion. The question reads, fuel having 88% carbon and 12% hydrogen is burnt using 98% of air compared to theoretical air requirement for combustion. Determine the following considering that H2 is completely burnt and carbon burns to CO and CO2, leaving no free carbon. So we have to do the percentage analysis of the dry flue gases by volume and the percentage of heat loss due to the incomplete combustion. We have to take the calorific values in kilojoules per kg for the conversion of carbon to carbon dioxide as 34694 kilojoules per kg, carbon to carbon monoxide as 10324 kilojoules per kg, and the combustion of H2O into H2 into H2O as 143,792 kilojoules per kg. So we'll start with the very basic formula that we have learned for the calculation of stoichiometric air requirement, which is 8 by 3C plus 8H, and we also have plus S and minus O in this formula, but as we don't have any sulfur and oxygen in the fuel, hence we are not using the two expressions. So putting the amount of carbon and amount of hydrogen in the fuel as 0.88 and 0.12 kg out of the 1 kg, so we get the air requirement or stoichiometric air requirement as 14.38 kilojoules per kg of fuel. So now as it is given in the question that the stoichiometric air is not supplied, however the 98% of the stoichiometric air is supplied. So we will find the actual air supplied by multiplying the stoichiometric air by 0.98. So we get 14.08 kg per kg of fuel. So accounting the insufficient part of air, I will subtract the stoichiometric air and the actual air supplied. So by that I get that 0.3 kg of air is falling short out of the stoichiometric air, which is not supplied during the combustion process. Now I will account that how much of CO and how much of CO2 will be formed in this particular reaction. So writing the two reactions, C plus O2 is equal to CO2, it is already balanced. So I'll write 12 kg of carbon is reacting with 32 kg of oxygen, the molecular weight of O being 16 and 16 into 2 is 32, and similarly all the elements with their subscripts are added, it gives 44, and the mass will be balanced at the two sides. We can verify using this balancing of mass also. Then I am dividing whole of the expression by 12, so I will get 1 kg of carbon will react with 8 by 3 kg of oxygen to form 11 by 3 kg of carbon dioxide. Now again I have written another expression which is for the formation of CO from carbon and oxygen. This is CO is produced when there is insufficient supply of oxygen. So I have first written C plus O2 is equal to CO2 and then balanced the equation. So I got this, and then writing the molecular weights, it is 24 kg of carbon is reacting with 32 kg of oxygen to form 56 kg of carbon monoxide. Dividing all by 24, so 1 kg of carbon is reacting with 4 by 3 kg of oxygen to form 8 by 3 kg of CO. So now we will find using this data that how much amount of air will be saved if 1 kg of carbon is forming CO and it is not forming CO2. So saved oxygen will be 1 kg carbon requires 8 by 3 for converting into CO2 and requires 4 by 3 kg for converting into CO. So the saved oxygen or saved air can also be calculated further, will be calculated by subtracting the two. So 8 by 3 minus 4 by 3 kg will give the amount of oxygen saved when CO2 is not formed and CO is formed instead. So this is oxygen, so we can calculate the air saved. So it will be 4 by 3 into 100 by 23, as 23 parts of air is oxygen by mass. So this is coming to be 5.797 kg. So this much of air will be saved if 1 kg of carbon will burn to CO instead of CO2. So now to find the amount of carbon that burns to CO from 1 kg of fuel, because we have 0.88 kg of carbon in 1 kg of fuel in the given question, and out of that some portion is burning to CO2 and some portion is burning to CO. So now we have to find the amount of carbon out of that 0.88 kg that forms CO. Fine. So for that it is 0.3. What is 0.3 has come from? It has come from the 0.3 kg was the insufficient part of air which could not be supplied due to the supply of 98% of the stoichiometric air. So we have supplied 0.3 kg less air than the stoichiometric. Also 1 kg of carbon, if it would have been converted to CO instead of CO2, would have saved 5.797 kg of the air. So dividing these two and multiplying this by the amount of carbon in the fuel, we will get the part of carbon which is converted into CO instead of CO2 in this particular problem. This is in another way applying the unitary method only. So now as we get the carbon getting converted into CO as 0.045 kg, so the carbon that is converting into CO2 will be 0.88 minus 0.045, which will be 0.835 kg. So now as it is being asked in the question that what are the products of combustion and their percentage in terms of volume percent, so we have to first write the combustion equations and then find how much of each product is formed. So first of all I am starting with the basic, that is the carbon dioxide, which is always formed, but in this question carbon monoxide is also there. So carbon plus oxygen will give CO2, and again the same thing is being written as it was discussed earlier. 12 kg of carbon is combining with 32 kg of oxygen to give 44 kg of carbon dioxide, and this will be dividing all by 12. I get 1 kg of carbon is reacting with 8 by 3 kg of oxygen to form 11 by 3 kg of carbon dioxide. But in this question, as it is found by the calculations that 0.83 kg of carbon is there, so 0.835 kg of carbon will give 11 by 3 into 0.835 kg of carbon dioxide. Similarly for CO, that is carbon monoxide, C plus O2 is equal to CO, then it is balanced, and then we get 24 kg will react with 32 kg of oxygen to give 56 kg of carbon monoxide, and dividing all by 24 we get 1 kg of carbon will react with 4 by 3 kg of oxygen to give 8 by 3 kg of carbon monoxide. But we have 0.045 kg of carbon which is getting converted into CO as we have calculated it here. So this much will give 8 by 3 into 0.045 kg, that is 0.12 kg of carbon monoxide. Now as it is given in the question that we have to find only the dry flue gases, hence the products of combustion will not include the H2O because it is the wet product, and it will be calculated only in case of the wet flue gas analysis. Right now we have to do the dry flue gas analysis only. So hydrogen and its reaction will be excluded from the calculations. So what will be the rest? Rest will be the nitrogen part. Why? The nitrogen will come from the air which is supplied and it will remain inert in the process of combustion. So nitrogen in the dry flue gas will be equal to the 77% by mass of the total air supplied. As in the question we have found that 14.08 kg of air is supplied, so 0.77 into the amount of air will give the nitrogen in the dry flue gas. all of these products, nitrogen, carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, can be added to obtain the total dry flue gas, that is 14.022 kg. For calculating the percentage by volume of each constituent, we will write the constituents here, percentage mass as here. How this percentage mass is calculated is, I have divided all individual component like CO2 is 3.062 by the total volume and I obtain the percentage mass. Like this, I have divided CO, that means 0.12, divide the 14.022, I have got the percentage by mass of CO2, and the mass of nitrogen by 14.022, that is the total dry flue gas, I have got the percentage mass of the N2. So writing their molecular weights, as we should remember all these. Then for finding the proportional volume, I have divided the percentage mass by this molecular weight. So I have divided all these and obtained these. Then I have added all this and found the summation of the proportional volumes. Then by dividing the proportional volume of each constituent by the summation of it, we will get the percentage volume. This is a standard method we have used multiple times for the conversion of percentage mass into percentage volume. So these are the percentage volume of the dry flue gases of the individual components. Now, as another thing which is asked in the question is the percentage of heat loss due to the incomplete combustion. So we have to find two types of heat and then find the percentage loss. So the first type of heat will be when there is sufficient air which is supplied to the combustion process, and another will be when there is insufficient air. So for sufficient air, we will have to find the heat released in sufficient air availability by burning of carbon, and similarly we will find the heat released by burning of H2 into H2O. So when sufficient air will be supplied, then carbon will be forming CO2 only. So we will use the calorific value when CO2 is formed. In the case of sufficient supply of air, so it is 34694 into the total amount of carbon which is available in the fuel. So this much will be released by the carbon present in the fuel, and from the H2 it will be 0.12, which is the amount of hydrogen, into the 143,792, which is the amount calorific value for the conversion of H2 into H2O. So the total heat which will be released in this case of the complete combustion, or in case of sufficient supply of air, will be 47785.76 kilojoules. But for case of the incomplete combustion, what will happen will be, we will have the carbon dioxide and the carbon monoxide, and the quantities of carbon which are converted into these two, CO and CO2, are known to us as we have calculated them already. So this is the amount of heat which will be released by the formation of CO2. It is 34694, and this is the amount of carbon which is getting converted into CO2. So this will be the heat released by the CO2 formation, and this is the amount of carbon which is getting converted into CO, and this is the heat released with the reaction. So this is the amount of heat released with the formation of CO. Adding this, we will get the heat released by the carbon burning in case of insufficient air, and we have added the heat released by hydrogen as we have done earlier for the calculation of the total heat. So this is the total heat in case of insufficient quantity of the air supplied. So for this, these things will be used in the calculation of the percentage heat loss. It will be calculated as the heat produced in case of complete combustion or sufficient air supply minus the heat produced in case of insufficient air supply divided by the heat produced in case of the sufficient air supply, and this is coming to be 2.29%. So this much is the percentage heat loss, and this was all about this question. So we'll discuss another type of question on fuels in the next lecture. Thank you so much.